Okay, welcome. My name is Emily. For anyone who is new watching this recording, I'm so glad that you are here with us and showing up for yourself in this way. So we're just going to begin by settling into wherever you are sitting and just taking a moment to make any adjustments to your body that you need to just sort of land here. Any shrugs of shoulders, any slight little movements. And we're just going to put some things in the worry bowl. So anything that you don't want to carry with you into this session, or maybe you want to get rid of it for the whole week ahead, you can put it in the worry bowl. If you like, you can place your hands across your chest and just begin a gentle bilateral tapping as you bring to the forefront of your mind anything that you would like to let go of. Maybe it's something that's been whirling around in your mind, something weighing down on your shoulders. It can be anything at all: worries, anxieties, fears, angers, farts. It is a morning session. I have not had enough sleep, so there will be some extra weirdness, just warning you. I'll maybe try and put some weirdness in the bowl. Feel free to speak some things aloud, sigh some things out. In any way that you'd like to have these things come out of you and making their way into the giant worry bowl. You might like to join me in a nice big inhale, breathing into your belly through your nose, really filling up your belly with air. And then a nice big audible sigh. It can feel really nice letting that air go. And another, if that felt good, just breathing in nice and deep through the nose. And letting it go. And on this next breath, whenever it is for you, just breathing at your own rhythm, your own pace, just see if you can focus on releasing the tension in your lower limbs, letting go of anything that you're storing there in your knees, your thighs, your buttocks. And then on that next breath, just moving a little further up the body and relaxing any tension that you might be storing in your lower back or your shoulders. And moving a little further up, just relaxing any tension in your arms, your neck, your face, just letting yourself relax into this moment, becoming a little more present with yourself, with the sensations in your body, maybe more present with your surroundings as well. And one more moment to get rid of anything into the worry bowl that you want to get rid of. I'm just going to turn some noise off. That's noisy. And we'll pop that out of sight, out of mind for this time that we have together. Now that we've gotten rid of what's at the forefront of our mind, let's give our subconscious mind permission to let go of some shit. So speaking aloud after me, saying, I give my subconscious mind permission to let go of my worries and fears now. And having given that permission, we're just going to tap our way through our body, get our own life force energy flowing through every part of us and unblocking anything that was being stuck and clung to by our subconscious mind. So slightly cupped hands on your lower belly and tapping your way all the way up the body, onto your chest, gorilla, and then tapping your way down the side. I kept some weirdness, just so you know. And all the way down for a big happy seal or a monkey with your cymbals. And then tapping your way back up the outside of your arm. Giving yourself a big pat on the back for showing up for yourself in this way. And tapping your way over the other side. And down the inside of this arm. Building up some ridiculous happy energy for the middle. Big round of applause for us all. Smile on your face if you can muster it. And tapping your way back up, all the way up for another big pat on the back, because I know how challenging it can be to show up for yourself in this way. We're just going to tap our way down the center of our face, just pretending there's little raindrops coming down, and see if you can soften your expression as you do another row slightly further out. excuse me, and tapping your way down the sides of your face. And we'll tap our way over the top of our head and down around to the back of your neck. And another row to slightly further out, down and around. And then just above the ears and down and around. And finding your kidneys, giving yourself a pat on the lower back before we tap our way down onto the top of your feet before coming back up the inside of your legs. And just resting your hands back on your belly and closing your eyes down, taking a few deep breaths at your own pace. Just breathing nice and deep into your belly. And just allowing yourself this quiet, peaceful moment to check in with how it truly feels to be you. Noticing the internal sensations, maybe noticing that little buzzing that's happening. Perhaps you're noticing where your walls are, where your skin is, where you end and the world around you begins. Maybe you're becoming aware of other internal sensations within the body. Just noticing which parts of you are feeling a little tight, maybe a little painful. And seeing if you can notice these areas without any judgment. Just tuning into them, where they are, how they feel. Maybe you're noticing the thoughts that are moving through your mind. Just noticing if your mind's trying to run to the future or into the past, or if you're able to maintain the present. And just taking another deep breath in through the nose, filling up your belly. I'm going to pause at the top of that breath. Just hold for as long as feels good for you, and then exhale it out with a sigh when you feel ready. And we'll just begin a gentle sway with our spine. You can keep your eyes closed or you can open them up, it's up to you. We're just going to gently wake our body up with some very slight movement side to side. And your sway might get a little wider each time, or it might just stay relatively small range of movement. Just whatever feels right for you. We're tuning into our body's needs. These are suggestions. You're also welcome to do whatever you please. If you feel like dancing, go ahead and dance. And if you like, you can take that sway forwards and backwards and just roll that spine back and forth, as much or as little as you like. Just bringing your body to life, one vertebrae at a time. You might like to take that motion around in circles. Maybe you want to create some little circles with your core, going one way and then the other. Or maybe you just want to free flow and just take your body in directions that are calling to you. You might like to just be dropping shoulders and raising the other. And if you like, you can bring your arms into this exploration of your body, just waving them around in any way that feels right for you. And if you like, you can also add to this practice, stack a couple of habits together. As you get in touch with your body, you might like to do some humming, so you're stimulating the vagus nerve from the inside, massaging it from the inside. So just taking a nice big inhale and then hum as you do your interpretive dance about how it feels to be in your body in this moment, this Monday morning for many of us. You can feel free to move your legs if you feel to stand up to do this exploration, go ahead. And if you're seated on the edge of a couch or a bed, you might even like to just pretend that you're submerged in water, that you're treading water perhaps. Just really allow yourself to settle into that free-flowing movement, however that looks for you, and don't be worried about how it looks. We're more concerned with how it feels as we wake our bodies up and get in touch with the sensations within us. And you might feel to even just isolate one part of movement, just really tuning into how a section of you moves. Or perhaps your preference is just to allow all of you to flow with or without the humming. It's totally up to you. And if it's feeling good to have this free-flowing movement continue, then feel free to continue it. You're welcome to also join me in a little connection in with the face. We're going to do a little face massage and just take any worrisome energy out of our brow. So just pressing on your brow as you press down, shifting the worrisome energy off your face. Pinch the eyebrow when you get there. And just moving slightly further out, just noticing how much tension you're storing here, if you are. And how it feels to sort of release that tension and that energy out of your brow. Once you get to the edge of your eyebrows, we're going to paint soft lines on our eyelids. Just really notice that beautiful softness of your skin. Moving slightly further up the next time. Pressing firmer on your eyebrows. Noticing how that feels. Noticing the texture there. And just moving your way up your face. Shifting that worrisome energy off to the sides and over to the temples. And once you reach your hairline, you might like to actually return down to the temples and just massage here for a moment. Before taking that exploration of your face down over the cheekbones, finding that joint in your jaw, letting your mouth fall softly open, and just exploring here any tension that you might have. You might even like to open and close your mouth a little bit and just feel into these areas that are potentially really tight and possibly painful. You might be a teeth grinder in your sleep like me. You might be storing a lot of tension and trauma here, so see what you can release just through some massage and exploration. Yes, it will likely feel a bit painful, but just know it'll feel relief afterwards. And if you like, you can give your cheeks a bit of a smoosh, maybe taking them in circles or just up and down or back and forth, whatever feels good for you. And you might like to then explore your cheekbones, maybe over to your nose. Just applying whatever pressure feels good for you. Might be gentle, might be firm. There's no right or wrong way to massage your face, just your way. And just applying some pressure along the jawline, over to the ears, maybe exploring all of the surface of your ears. Tuning into any other parts of your body that come to life when you do explore these areas. Knowing that there's all these meridian lines, reflexology points. That nothing happens in isolation. And there's connected parts of you from your ears to your toes. And you might like to explore in behind your ears and maybe around the base of your head. I know for me, up in that, what's this bit? The scully bit. There's a lot of tension up here, so I like to really massage into these areas. You might like to explore what's happening here for you as well. And you might even like to take it all the way into your hair. Just give yourself a good massage here. If you've got bed hair, just really get in there, add to it, get some volume going. Pretend you're living in the 80s. Again, just tuning into the sensations, perhaps underneath your fingers, but also you might be noticing some tingling down in your lower limbs. And if you like, you can bring your attention down either side of the neck and just massage that vagus nerve from the outside now, just moving gently down either side. You might like to take a few deep breaths here, allowing that exhale to be longer than the inhale, helping to send through that calming signal to your nervous system that it's safe here, that you can relax, you can rest, you can digest. And we will go and open up our lymphatic flow for the morning, for the week. We'll just start with our collarbones. So massaging sort of above and below the bony part, just back and forth about 10 times. And then we're going to tap on this area. And then the other side. Oh, I just stabbed my neck. And then we're just going to come back up to underneath our jawline, just pressing, sort of rubbing downwards here. Might feel a little tender if you've got swollen glands. Just go easy if it does. And then gently tapping. And then the other side. And then just making gentle fists, we're going to rub them downwards on our chest, back and forth from the center out to the sides. Oh, I totally forgot to count. That'll do. Oh, I got lost in future thoughts. We're going to bring our attention into our, what's this, underarm, massaging under here. Another spot where it gets blocked up. I was thinking about juices. Tapping in underneath here. And then on the other side. And we're next, we're going to go underneath our breasts and pecs and just alternate that top hand back and forth. And then my favorite, looks super sus, we're going to find the crease in our groin and in a down and out motion, just sort of massage into that. And then tap. And then just underneath your knees for the last one. And where will we go next? Let's just bring our feet in together, open up our hips a little bit. This is if for those of you who are seated on a mat, just holding onto your ankles and lengthening your spine for a moment, taking a nice big inhale. And if you like, you can just increase that stretch. And by the way, it doesn't matter if your feet are out here. We're not all here to be perfect yogis. We're just here to explore our bodies. So you might like to just lean in a little. You might like to walk your hands forward. Wherever you feel to go to just bring a little extra stretch into your groin, into your hips. And for anyone who's seated, We're just going to open our stance out, making sure you're nice and stable and leaning in so that you feel that same stretch here, same opening in this area. And just breathing in to any discomfort, any sensations that arise here. We store a lot of tension and trauma in our hips. So just allowing for whatever is there to come up and surface. You can move your body if you like, if you need to make some adjustments. And if it feels really good to be here, you want to stay a little longer, then by all means stay longer. If you wish, you can bring one of your feet in nice and tight and bring the other leg out. Now, of course, it doesn't matter if it's not straight, it might look like this. But wherever it is, we're just going to reach up nice and tall, take a breath in, turn towards that leg and reach out towards it. Doesn't matter if you can't touch your toes, we're just going to take a few breaths. And see if each exhale can take you a little further, wherever you are. And anyone who's practicing from a chair, you can recreate a similar stretch, just taking one of your legs out, leaning down towards it. And when you're feeling ready, just listening to the sensations within your body. If it tells you it's had enough, just come back up to center. We'll switch it over to the other side. And just repeat. Breathing, not breathing up, reaching up, breathing in, reaching over, stretching out. And once your body has signaled to you it's had enough, just bring yourself back up and just making yourself comfortable in your lower body. We're just going to focus in on our upper body a little bit. So we're just going to clasp our hands together, pressing out and away, really opening up the back of you, opening up your shoulder blades. Just taking a breath and feeling how that feels before we twist our way off to the left over one knee, just feeling that side body of yours, the shoulder stretch a little more, and then taking it back to center and off to the other side, just feeling the difference from one side to the other. You can move at your own pace, just twisting your body from left to right, noticing how that feels. And when you're ready, taking that same stretch with your hands up overhead and just really elongating that spine, stretching up nice and tall. You're welcome to just stay here and take a few deep breaths, or you can join me in a nice lean over to one side, just strengthening your core. And as you do, just really tuning into the signals of your body, noticing some heat start to build. Noticing that you might be getting a little shaky as your body sort of struggles to hold you up, in which case your body might be signaling to you it's time to come back. In which case, just reaching up a little taller in the center and taking it off to the other side. And again, just taking that time to really tune in to those signals of your body. Noticing where your limit is. And coming back to center when you're ready. We'll drop our arms down behind our head. Pull your elbows back, open up that chest of yours. And I'll give you a few options. You might have a favorite, you might like to cycle through them all. We're just going to twist our body from side to side a little bit. Get some movement happening in our core again. Releasing those issues in the tissues of our fascia. And the next option is to go across your body and lean over. So taking one elbow down towards the opposite knee and then coming back up. Doesn't matter how far you get. Just taking it over a little way and feeling into all of the parts of you that engage and come to life to make that happen. And the other variation is bringing one knee up to meet the elbow, or of course you don't have to touch them, but just in that general direction. And again, just noticing which parts of you are coming to life to make that one happen. Noticing the muscles in your thighs, noticing the muscles in your stomach, in your back, in your arms. And so like I said, you might have a favorite, you might want to return to one, you might like to cycle through them all. Totally up to you. Excuse me. But these are really great detoxifying actions, getting your lymphatic system flowing as well, now that we've opened up that flow a bit more. And yeah, releasing some of the tension in our fascia. And strengthening your core at the same time. So doing all the things, all of it, all at once. Yay! Celebration. I need to go back to bed, I think. And just releasing your hands, spirit finger your way down around behind your back. If you like, you can clasp your hands back together. And just straighten your arms. You might like to roll your shoulders back a little bit. Really open up your chest. Imagine you're expanding your heart out to the universe. You're welcome to just rest here for a moment in this position, or you might like to add a little twist here as well. Just twisting your body, noticing how that feels. And when you're ready, you can release your hands. Just make any little micro adjustments you might need to make to just return yourself to comfort. If you need to get some water, go for it. I definitely do. And we're just going to, for those of you on a mat, put yourself lengthways on that mat. And we're just going to lean back a little bit, engage our core a little more. And if you like, you can raise your feet up. Maybe you'd like to sort of pedal, cycle through with your legs. And again, we're just tuning into the sensations of our belly, noticing when that heat builds, noticing when the shakiness starts. And then once you do feel that, you can lower yourself vertebrae by vertebrae down onto the mat. And anyone who's seated, you can recreate the exact same effect on your belly just by leaning back. And then instead of going down onto a mat, of course, we're going to instead lean forward for those who are on a chair or the edge of your bed or wherever you might be. So you can notice, you can fluctuate between the two, noticing how the front of you engages and then the back, just really tuning into those sensations. And anyone who is on the mat, we are just going to take a moment to rest. And then there's a couple of options. You can plant your feet down and lift your body up so that you're creating a similar engagement of the back of your core. You might like to put your feet together, do the same thing, sort of opening up that tension trauma in your hips while you're strengthening your thighs and your core, doing a few things at once. Totally up to you. You might like to do both, one of each, cycle through them. And just resting in between at any stage that you feel to. I'm a big advocate for listening in to what your body needs. And whilst we're here to advance our mobility and all of that, we don't want to override our system. We don't want to push too much. So we're just learning how to listen to those signals of our bodies and resting whenever you need. And you might just like to plant your feet on the mat about shoulder width apart and just take your knees from side to side. You might like to even hold on one side for a couple of breaths, just stretching out the top of your thigh and then taking it over. Or your preference might be to move in fluid motion like windscreen wipers with your knees, just moving back and forth. And anyone who's on a chair, then you can create a similar motion, internal, external rotation, just dropping one knee down at a time, bring it back up. Getting that movement in your hips and your knees, just going at your own pace. I'm a huge fan of these ones because, of course, we store all that tension and trauma in our hips, so it's good to get them moving. And when you feel ready to stop the movement, we're going to have some time being still. So I invite you to just make yourself comfortable, however that looks for you. If you want to stay lying down, then just maybe lengthening yourself, putting up hands by your sides, facing up to receive, down to ground. If you're seated, you might like to just get some cushions. Maybe you want to make some adjustments behind you or have something behind your head. Maybe hold on to a cushion, or maybe holding on to yourself, nice self-hug. However you'd like to position yourself now, we're just going to do a guided visualization to help with neural pathways and beliefs and all of the good things. So just closing your eyes down, and I'll invite you to just relax your body into the furniture wherever you are, allowing yourself to notice the feeling of comfort that comes from the support of the surface beneath you, whatever that might be. And perhaps you're also aware of that greater feeling of support that comes from being here in this Zoom or watching this Zoom, knowing that you are part of a healing community, that you're not alone in this journey. And I invite you now to go ahead and give yourself permission to be exactly where you are and to be exactly who you are right now. And as you take a deep breath, you might start to notice the sounds in the space where you're sitting or laying. Or perhaps your attention is drawn towards the temperature where you are and how the air feels as it moves through your nostrils, and how it feels as that air travels through your body. And maybe you're noticing how your body moves with each breath, the gentle rise and fall of your belly, your ribs, and your chest. And your awareness might be drawn to the sensation of your body beginning to relax. And as it does, you might choose to place your focus on the rhythmic beat of your heart. Or perhaps you're choosing to be attentive to the internal sensations within your body, or the feeling of your expression softening and your facial muscles relaxing. You might be noticing thoughts coming and going and just allowing them to float through your mind, letting each one go. And simply letting go of everything that isn't comfort and ease. And as you settle deeper into your body and settle deeper into the space where your body is resting, just allow yourself to feel a sense of comfort wrap around you, though you're being hugged by a warm blanket of comfort and ease. And I invite you to bring your focus back onto your breath, noticing how it moves through your body as I share with you all something that I learned a little while ago. And that's that trees grow simultaneously into different directions. And it's so simple, and yet it landed within me as something so profound. And it's had me contemplating this concept ever since. So let's take this moment to contemplate together a magnificent fruit tree growing simultaneously in two opposing directions, its roots delving deep into the earth while its branches stretch towards the sky. And this tree, much like us, is on a journey of growth and resilience. And so I invite you now to lengthen your spine, feeling the strength of your muscles as you elongate your body, imagining yourself like this tree, reaching with your roots deep down into the earth, while simultaneously your trunk and your branches reach upwards. Now bringing your shoulders back and feeling an opening naturally happen in your chest. And now softening your heart and softening your belly, creating a union of the two polarities of strength and softness side by side, able to withstand, yet also able to flow with the wind. Always a good reminder on how we should move through this life. Strong, yet soft. And now I invite you to consider the analogy of this tree's growth, its root system mirroring its fruit system, embodying its gravitropic and phototropic dualities. And as it pushes downward, it encounters resistance, navigating through the darkness in search of sustenance and stability. And this journey beneath the surface is fraught with challenges, yet it's where the true foundations lie, where nutrients are absorbed and where strength is gained. And in contrast, as the tree reaches upwards, growing towards the light, there's a sense of freedom. And while external forces like wind may sway its direction, there's no inherent resistance impeding its growth upwards, so long as there is light to grow towards. But it's crucial to recognize that without the steadfast determination of its roots, the tree would struggle to thrive. And in many ways, this parallels our own journey of healing and growth as humans. Like the tree, we too face dualities in our paths. There are times when we must navigate through darkness, encountering resistance and challenges that test our resolve. Yet it's in these moments of struggle that we often find the greatest opportunities for growth. And when we reach towards the light, embracing opportunities for personal development and fulfillment, we must not forget the importance of our roots, those experiences and lessons learned in the depths and darkness of our journey. And just as the tree draws sustenance from its roots, we draw strength from our past, grounding us as we reach towards our aspirations. So in this moment of quiet contemplation, I invite you to press your feet or lower limbs into the surface beneath you, as though you're pressing yourself into the earth. Perhaps even imagining that from your lower limbs grow beautifully intricate roots that twist their way deep down into the earth. Your roots, the part of you that remains grounded, may encounter rocks, and you might momentarily find your path blocked by such rocks and other obstacles. And yet you continue to grow and reach further down and outwards, always seeking and always finding your way towards sustenance, towards nutrients, towards that which gives life. And I invite you to breathe in the air that surrounds you and gives life from above. Breathing that oxygen into your cells and allowing it to travel through your entire body and down into your roots. Your roots, that part of you that remains grounded, always growing within the darkness that lies beneath the surface, always learning and developing new ways to move forward and find a way around the obstacles that show up in your path. And breathing deeply now into the core of you, into your chest, into your heart, your lungs, your center, the place where your growth in both directions meets in the middle, the place that is home to your rhythm. And just allowing yourself this moment to tune into your rhythm now, the beating of your internal drum. May we allow ourselves this moment of appreciation for our growth in all directions. May we allow ourselves a moment of celebration for all the growth that has been happening, perhaps unacknowledged for so long. Unfortunately, society often only celebrates the visible achievements, the fruits of our labor, without acknowledging the unseen efforts that lay the groundwork for success. But it's essential to remember that true growth and resilience stem from both our triumphs and our struggles. So as we navigate our own paths of healing and growth, I invite you all to take this moment in time to honor your roots, to appreciate the journey through darkness that has been shaping each and every one of us, and to embrace the challenges we face as opportunities for more growth, for opportunities to push against resistance, whether that be external or internal resistance, in order to strengthen and find our pathway through. For it's in the balance of light and darkness, resistance and freedom, that we find the strength to reach our fullest potential. And I invite you now to lengthen your spine once again, feeling the strength in your spine as you roll your shoulders back and take a deep breath of air into your open chest. And wherever you are, just tilting your face up towards the sky as though your entire being is looking up. And I invite you to just be here in this position with your body and take a nice breath into the core of you. And a big sigh, letting go. And another few breaths in your own time. Breathing in through your nose and filling up your belly. Sighing that air out. And I invite you to begin to bring your awareness back to those sensations in your body. Just becoming aware of all that's happening within you. And you might choose to gently move your body slowly as you begin to reawaken your awareness to your surroundings. Perhaps noticing the sounds nearby you. Maybe focusing back on that temperature of the air as it moves around you and as it moves through you. Perhaps perhaps your body is drawing your attention to your fingers and toes and calling for a little movement here, maybe wiggling fingers, rolling ankles, rolling wrists. Maybe your body is asking you to stretch or for your shoulders to roll or shrug. Just listening now to the needs of your body in this moment as you readjust. Becoming consciously aware of where you are, while still allowing yourself permission to be exactly who you are. As you open your eyes to look forward. And I invite you to join me in a nice big deep breath in. And a big sigh, letting go. And for those of you seated, I invite you to just take your body back down onto the mat and bring your knees into your chest and give yourself a little hug and a little roll around, massaging your back on the mat. And anyone who is seated, not able to go down onto the mat, you might just like to take your body over, a nice forward fold, and give yourself a hug down here. Or perhaps bring a knee up to your chest one at a time. Just getting that closeness, that sense of being held for a moment. As you just allow yourself to process and breathe and feel, to release anything that's come up, allowing things to settle. And if this is feeling good, then you can stay in this closeness with yourself. You're also welcome to just bring your feet down onto the mat, put your feet together and let your knees fall out either side. Perhaps you'd like to bring your arms out either side as well. Just creating a nice big opening in both your hips and your chest, an opening in your whole center. And just breathing deep into that center, breathing in through your nose, filling up your belly, allowing it to move up into your chest, and then allowing it to come out of your chest, then out of your belly. And of course, if you're seated, then you can do a similar position with your body, just opening out your legs. You might have your hands up if it feels good, or it might feel too much to hold your arms up, so you might just have them by your side or on your thighs. But just focusing your attention on that breath moving through the core of you, through your trunk. Allowing that breath of life to move through you, allowing your energy to move through you, and allowing anything else that's there to move through you. And you're welcome to stay exactly here and continue that focused breath. Or you can join me in bringing your feet back up, and we will bring one of our feet over the other knee and reaching through, grabbing hold of the back of that thigh, just bringing, sorry, my leg's doing something weird, bringing that stretch down towards your chest, sort of opening up the back of your thigh, getting a nice stretch there in that leg off to the side, and just breathing through a few deep breaths. And anyone who is seated, getting a workout going up and down, just creating the same position with your legs. Instead of bringing that up to your chest, just taking your chest over towards that stretch. So it might mean just leaning a little forward. It maybe looks like folding the whole way. It just depends on your body and your limitations, your range of mobility. When you feel ready, just switching it over to the other side, putting that other leg over the other knee and grabbing hold of the back of that thigh, bringing it close to you. Breathing through those sensations that rise up for you. feel ready, we can release from that one as well. I'm just going to reach through, grab hold of the outside of our feet and just allow big opening here in your hips, rolling your body around for those who are on a mat or on the bed. It's really opening up, and perhaps you'd like to imagine that you are a happy baby, or imagining a happy baby that's in your life. See if you can put a smile on your face, just be a little silly. And if you are on a seat, you don't have to miss out. You can open up that stance. Maybe you want to lean all the way down, grab hold of the back of your feet if you've got enough stability there in your body. Maybe you want to hold onto the ground in front of you, just create that opening. Maybe it's just as simple as leaning forward, putting a smile on your face. And whenever you feel ready, you can just bring your feet back down onto the mat, rolling yourself to one side, pressing yourself up off the floor, wherever you are, coming back up to a seated position, getting yourself some water if you need it. And we're just going to finish up with another little tapping sequence like we did in the beginning. So just bringing your hands slightly cupped onto your belly and tapping your way up the body. Really consciously tuning into each area of you as you move over, noticing where you might still be holding a bit of tension. No judgment, just noticing your body. Coming down, building up some ridiculous happy seal energy for the middle. Big round of applause for whoever is the most ridiculous. And tapping your way back up. All the way. Noticing all of your freckles and moles and things. Tapping yourself, pat on the back. And then tapping down this other arm. All the way down, another opportunity to be a bit more ridiculous in life. Yeah. And tapping your way back up. And another big pat on the back. We're almost done, well done. And bringing that attention back to the face, raindrops down the center. Notice how your face feels now. Hopefully it's a little bit softer in your expression. Maybe it's gone from tense to just a gentle resting bitch face like mine. And just tapping over the top of your head when you're ready, gentle fists, or if that's too much, you're always welcome to just run your hands through your hair. Just bringing some attention over the top of your head. And 3 rows. And just finding your kidneys, giving yourself a pat on that lower back and tapping all the way down the outside of your legs. On the top of your feet and then back up the inside. And just coming to rest your hands back on your belly. You might like to close your eyes down, just taking a nice big deep breath into your belly through your nose. Big audible sigh, letting go. And just taking a few deep breaths, however deep you like, however long you like, just at your own pace. As you check in with how it feels in your body now. How it feels coming out the other side of doing these practices. Maybe you can remember how you felt when you first opened this Zoom or the recording. And just compare that to now. Recognizing what you've been able to create within your body. Hopefully there's been some relaxation, some settling of some things. You might even be noticing you're feeling a little more fatigued, which can be a little scary if you have chronic fatigue, but just know that this is your body signaling to you that you are switching over into that rest and digest parasympathetic nervous system state. And so if your body is calling to you to just have a little lie down, then perhaps that's exactly what you need to do after the session. Just for a moment to really take advantage of this healing state that you've put your body into. And just noticing how your thoughts are moving through your mind now. They might have slowed down a little bit. Maybe they have a different texture now. Maybe you're able to let a few more go. And just one more little check in with every part of you. Nice big breath. Big sigh. I'm going to finish up with some sound, really sending through that last little signal to our nervous system that we are in rest and digest, and sending the signal out to the universe that we are in that state. So we're going to place one hand on our diaphragm, one on our chest. We're going to make 3 sounds of VOO, so V-O-O-O continuously. And as you do this, the reason we have our hands here is so we can really feel that vibration move through the body and feel our diaphragm open, expanding and closing, and feeling our heartbeat. Just really feeling into those internal sensations. And you might like to have that moment of gratitude for all of the workings of the body that go on underneath in the background. So we'll just take a breath in together now. And breathing in nice and deep once again. Deep breath in. So that does bring us to the end of our session. I want to thank you for showing up for yourself in this way and actively improving your health and well-being by doing these practices and pushing through any of those blocks and barriers that might be there for you in your life or internally. I understand those. We all have them. So yeah, I just really want to honor you in showing up for yourself. For those watching the recording, there will be a little link if you wish to make a donation to help Sanctuary grow and sustain itself, but there's no need to. I'll just go ahead and finish up the recording, so thank you.